"She's an evil woman, my prince. Please take her away from me," Narissa cried into James's black tunic. Deep in the castle's basement, inside the dungeon, he pulled Narissa into an embrace and looked up accusingly at Ellie. "What did you do now?" Between sobs, Narissa explained, "She forced food down my throat." James looked up with crazy rage. "You evil woman!" Ellie rolled her eyes. There was no way he would ever believe her, but she tried to tell him the truth anyway. "She's the one who sent me food, and it's rotten. She tried to force us to eat the spoiled food and hit Florence. She deserves it." Florence was also crying. Narissa had slapped her so hard that she fell on the floor. The poor girl didn't deserve this. She had no part in this. Not to mention, a direct assault on her was like an assault on the princess herself. "She lies, my prince. She lies. Why would I send her spoiled food? All I want is her love and blessings. I didn't hit Florence. To hit Florence would be an assault on the princess herself, and I would never dare to raise my hand against her." It was at this moment that Ellie realized what a twisted game Narissa was playing. Narissa wanted even Prince James to believe she was not as cunning as she was. She wanted him to believe that she was kind and considerate when in fact she had been out to get Ellie from day one. Ellie clenched her fists, but she knew that she would get ahead of both of them. She just needed to stay above it all long enough for young Rolf to wake up from his injuries. Once he tells everyone that Ellie had saved him, she would be free. James drew Narissa even closer. "Don't be afraid. I'm here now." Behind his back, Narissa was actually smiling, but he couldn't see that. Ellie shook her head. These two were such a pathetic pair. James picked some chicken off Narissa's face and then stared darkly at Ellie, contemplating what to do with her. Ellie stared right back, stubbornly. She had saved a man's life, and she was proud of that no matter what the prince thought. "I'll be back to punish you later. Come on, my love. Let me take you back to your room." Narissa glanced at the basket of rotten food she had tried to feed Ellie. She didn't want Prince James to see it, so she broke into louder sobs and dug into his chest some more. He stroked her hair. "I'm here. I'm here." Behind his back, Narissa pointed at Danica and then at the basket. Danica immediately knew what Narissa wanted. She wanted to get rid of the evidence. Danica grabbed the basket and ran out of the dungeon with it. Prince James had no idea what had just happened behind his back. Ellie, who had seen everything, was astonished that the prince could be so blind. "Prince James, do you even have eyes?" He looked up at her. "Can't you see? She sent us spoiled food and you're just protecting her." He glared back. "You're about to die, yet you're still lying through your teeth. You're too stubborn for your own good, princess." He turned to the guards. "Guards, since the princess doesn't like to eat food brought to her so kindly by the royal mistress, don't give her anything to eat, not even a drop of water." This was not good news for Ellie. She was still recovering from her lashes and needed sustenance. She had also opened up a wound on her back, which was flowing freely. She needed to cover and bind it before it got infected. But Prince James didn't care. He gingerly picked Narissa up and carried her back to her room. On the other side of the castle, James and Narissa were back in her room. The royal mistress's room was exquisitely decorated in reds and golds. She was given everything that Ellie was not, and even had a small kitchen attached. James helped Narissa sit on the bed, where she covered her face and sobbed, pretending to be more upset than she was. This was all a game to her. She wanted James to feel bad for her. "Your Highness, I'm so sorry. I was just trying to be kind to the princess, but she hates me so much. How can I establish myself in this palace if I don't have her support?" "I have already declared you the head of this house. You are now in charge. You don't need to interact with her. You just need to be a good royal mistress." Narissa's eyes teared. "Thank you, Prince. You are so good to me." Ellie had mocked Narissa for not consummating their relationship. Narissa wanted to make the prince stay in her room tonight. Even though he had declared her head of the house, it wasn't enough. She needed this consummation night with him to officially be recognized as head of the house. She looked up at him with a coy look. "Prince, will you rest here tonight?" James considered it. "Okay." "Really? That's great. You wait right here. I'll go take a bath. Please be ready for me. Narissa batted her eyes at the prince before dashing away. After she left, the prince paced around the room. Ever since Ellie had interrupted their first consummation night with a bloody flag, he couldn't get the image of Ellie out of his head. Every time Narissa came close, he saw Ellie. Every time he was wandering around the castle, he thought he caught glimpses of Ellie. But tonight, he would do it. He would use the anger he felt for Ellie and keep her out of his head, and then he would finally make love to Narissa. He pressed his forehead, and that's when he saw it. A piece of chicken on the back of his hand. He had picked this from Narissa's face in the dungeon. James brought it close to inspect it and realized it was rotten. It gave off the worst stench. His heart sank. If it had been made by the kitchen like Narissa claimed it to be, it would definitely not be this rancid. His mind started racing. Had Ellie been telling the truth? Had Narissa really given her rotten food to eat? He stared after Narissa and then back at his hand. He was unwilling to believe that Narissa was any different from how he imagined her to be. No, he refused to believe that she could do anything like this. She was sweet, gentle, and kind. She would make a fine princess someday. He would definitely not feel sorry for Ellie. She and her whole family were all evil. They had killed his parents. Even if Ellie herself didn't know about it, she deserved punishment. That's when Narissa returned fresh from her bath. She had rinsed her mouth and changed into a sheer dress. She walked towards James seductively. "Prince, I'm done bathing." Her eyes were filled with lust as she threw a flirtatious glance at James. She leaned her body against his. "Let me serve you well tonight, Your Highness." James tried to feel something for Narissa, but couldn't. He gulped and a memory flashed in his mind, of Ellie in the cell saying, "Prince James, do you have eyes? Can you see that she sent us rotten food?" Back in the present, Narissa got close to him. James looked down at his hands where the chicken still was. He was not blind. He could see the chicken. He could smell it too. He had seen the truth, but his heart was still filled with hatred. Ellie belonged to the same family that had killed his parents, so why was he consumed with thoughts of her? He looked down at the woman in his arms and felt nothing for her. But when he brought Ellie to his mind, his heart filled with doubt. "Narissa, I just remembered. I still have some unfinished business with my men. I need to go and deal with it. I'm afraid I will not be able to stay here tonight." With that, he gently pushed her away. Narissa froze. "Your Highness is busy again tonight?" "Yes, you go to sleep first. As soon as I'm done, I'll be back." Suddenly, Narissa grabbed James's arm. "Please, don't go." James was annoyed. "Let go." He tried to gently push her off, but she was strong. She wouldn't let go. James looked up at her, and again, instead of Narissa, he saw Ellie. "Princess?" he said with a wide-eyed look. "I'm not the princess, I'm your mistress," Narissa pleaded. James shook his head. Ellie's face disappeared, replaced by Narissa. "I have to go." He rushed out of the room as fast as he could. Narissa collapsed on the floor and tears fell silently from her eyes. This time, they were real. She had really wanted this to go right, but that princess kept getting in her way. Danica walked into the room. "My lady, what's wrong? I just saw His Highness leave." Narissa clenched her fists in rage. "The prince left me again, and it's all her fault. The princess is going to pay."